It's the new credit card scam and the victims, hard-working mum and dad small business owners.
Yeah, it's pretty much trashed this room.
It's nonsense. It's people who have stayed here, they've enjoyed our hospitality, and now suddenly they don't want to pay for it. That's legalised theft. That's unfair.
Marion Simon is hopping mad. So is Chris DeClosey.
I think it's very dishonest what they're doing, and they're taking advantage of mum and dad operators more so than anything else.
What's got these managers angry is people using credit cards to pay for accommodation who then dispute the transaction. It's called a chargeback, and according to the managers, the banks almost always side with the customers, leaving their businesses out of pocket.
Chris, I'm sitting here with 6 chargebacks that have happened in the last 3 months.
Within my businesses, in the last 2 months, we've had over $6,000 worth of chargebacks. That's been a direct impact to our bottom line.
These Gold Coast managers say there are 2 types of credit card scammers. The first are those using stolen credit cards to pay online.
The customer will arrive late or after hours, so there's no sighting of the customer, there's no interaction with the on-site manager. So it's creating a scenario where they've essentially been a ghost for those managers at the property.
By the time they've enjoyed their holiday, the card is declared stolen and the banks refuse to cover it.
I've coined a name for them called money miners.
If it's a fraudulent case where they're using a stolen credit card, we'll often find that drug paraphernalia within the room or damaged holes within walls to the point where they've had a large party.
It's just absolutely trashed.
Chris says this is a video of a room trashed by someone who used a stolen credit card to pay for an apartment.
So the owners are out of pocket for the lost accommodation, then they're also out of pocket for the repairs.
And the remotes have been twisted and broken and bent and jumped on. Mirrors have been broken. Doors have been pulled off. Drawers have been broken. And I would say probably the majority of the time a chargeback comes. So the two do seem to go hand in hand.
The second group of scammers is a growing number of people who just use their own credit cards to book a holiday and then tell their banks it wasn't them.
However, we are finding more so that people are legitimately staying and then trying to dispute the transaction with their bank.
Then the person leaves, and the moment they leave, they say their card's been stolen. Oops, I found out my card was stolen and it was stolen 10 days ago.
Well, I would have thought it's a really stupid fraud to commit, to be honest.
Associate Professor of Criminology at Bond University, Terry Goldsworthy, says it should be a crime that's easy to prove.
I would have thought there'd be a wealth of evidence at the location where you stayed indicating exactly who was there and using that credit card in terms of CCTV, etc.
Maybe so. Trouble is, resort managers say it takes them hours to produce the evidence, and most times the banks just accept their customers' claim.
I would believe anywhere between 75 and 100% the banks will rule with the card holder, not with the merchant.
I think we've argued up to about 80 times now, and I can't recall one time where we've ever had a successful dispute in our favour.
Worse still, both Chris and Marion say it would be easy for the banks to stop this kind of fraud by using a 2-step verification code on credit cards.
There would be no such thing as a fraud case then, because every customer would have to verify that transaction.
And I'm begging the banks to take this seriously and to put into place the necessary verifications that we stop this in its tracks once and for all.
I think the onus on the banks is that they should be investigating this properly, because if you allow behaviours like this to go unchecked, they'll just increase in nature.
We've had somebody in the industry who had 3 in the last 2 days.
Wow.
3 in the last 2 days. And believe me, they can go anywhere from $600 up to thousands and thousands of dollars.
The Australian Banking Association told us banks investigate the legitimacy of disputed transactions and review them.